One. Well, hello, everybody. Mac here, and thank you so much for joining us for another one of our spring 2025 calls. This one is about adaptogens, and I'm so pleased to be here with Tim, Cheryl, and Judy today. And we're not going to take much of your time, but we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about this term, which has certainly been thrown around a lot lately. And I guess let's start by, what is an adaptogen, I should say. Adaptogenic foods, plants and herbs help your body to adapt to stress. They support our adrenal glands. They support overall balance, which of course is a key word in Sunrider, especially during times of physical, emotional, and environmental strain. These substances are thought to have a normalizing effect on the body, meaning they can either increase or decrease certain bodily functions as needed to bring the system back into balance. Um, One of the things that we are going to talk about is some Sunrider food. So as always, I just like to remind everybody that none of the information presented in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. And, I just wanted to put it up here on the screen because again, adaptogenic foods are things that people are talking about a lot these days. And there are some herbs that some of us are very familiar with. I mean, ashwagandha is one that is used a lot, and a lot of people talk about it and its benefits in terms of, again, helping us reduce stress and bringing our body back into balance. Within Sunrider, my gosh, there's things like um, I'm going to mess this up, but I'll do my best. Rhodiola rosea, okay? The reishi mushroom, the licorice root, the ginsengs, in particular the Panax ginseng. And again, folks, that is a perfect setup, I think, for each of us maybe to talk a little bit about some of our experiences with dealing with stress and how these foods may help us out. And if I can, Judy, I'm going to turn to you first to jump in on this topic.
Okay, well, I think everyone needs adaptogens today. I know I do, and the stress factor is high. However, it's amazing when you address it, what benefit you can get. First of all, I'd like to just address top joinees. Each of those stand alone and help specific areas, but the magic really happens when they're used together. And some of the things that I've seen through the years with others and within my family are that when using all three, my kids used to ask, could they have that
Mm.
when they needed to write a report or complete some school task they just couldn't make themselves do. Other families had situations with hyperactivity or I don't know, trouble learning certain things. They found that the teachers would get back to the parents and say, "What have you done?" It like, and it worked quickly. Children and pets respond quickly. That's what's fun. And also, which I think is pretty interesting, is some people with a stuttering issue taking top joy and ease, that would go away. And so different things involving the whole system because it addresses the central nervous system. And I mean, when haven't we, there's never been a time where we need more support there. So I think those three are outstanding. And the other one that I have to have on the shelf, even though I don't use it daily, is the Korean ginseng. And that is the, I think, king of adaptogens. And that's what we kind of started the whole years ago topic of adaptogens, I think, was a discovery of what a strengthening effect Korean white ginseng can have on a person. And I use that for obviously weakness. I've used it for others with convalescing, getting over an illness. I've also used it when the stress level isn't responding or my body isn't responding quite as well as it should to what I'm feeding it. And I will add the Korean ginseng. So I never am without it on my shelf.
Well, that's great, Judy. You know, um, Speaking of stress-related issues and adaptogens and so forth, it looks as though we may have lost Tim, probably to do with the internet connection right now.
Oh
No,
no.
he is. We're going to bring him back on right now. See, this is how easily we can adapt to stress, folks. This is a perfect example, isn't it? Judy, Cheryl, great on that. I appreciate it. And Cheryl, I think you were going to be the next one anyway to talk with us, weren't you?
I sure was. Thank you, Mac and Judy. That was awesome. And like you, top joinees, absolutely love them. I start my day. I have three top, three joy, three ease, and in the middle of the day, I also have them. And my stress level, I actually sort of sail through the day because of them. But what they really helped me with was back in 2015, Tim and I were rear-ended very badly in a car accident. We were at a stop and this doctor hit us doing 80. And so I had a neck injury. And so I upped my top jointees. And after doing some reading about Siberian ginseng and sports caps, I added those in. And every time I would go to the osteopath or chiropractor, they would say to me, "We cannot believe how fast you're recovering from that neck injury." Same with Tim. And so I kind of just stayed with it. And because usually when you have an injury, it comes back to haunt you if you don't stay on a good path. And mine's been awesome. And then a couple of weeks ago, no, it's more like a month ago, I was going down the ferry ramp and it was really raining and my foot slipped and I went down on my knee and I put my arm back to grab the railing so I wouldn't go down and hurt my arm. And so my rotator cuff. So I've been going to the chiropractor and doing my routine with my herbs and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing how you bounce back, especially at your age." I said, "Leave age out of this, please." I'm only as young as I feel. Anyway, and so those products are just some of my favorites. And I did get some Intellerized when I was at convention. And I have to say that is a winning product. And how it keeps my clarity during the day is amazing. I love the taste. And I'm not a coffee drinker, so if that's what people do, like to have like that coffee goodness in their body, I'd rather do it with Intellerise. It's awesome. Oh, and Tim's back. Tim, what's your favorites out of all of these wonderful
Well,
foods?
it's pretty hard. Nice job, Cheryl. Back in style here. Geez, there's not one product that I wouldn't want to live without, but if there was one that I could only have as particularly as an adaptive formula, is Cali. I could have a whole business on Cali. It's just such an incredible food. I know I've mentioned this story before, but I'll make a short version as my introduction to Cali. And when I was working, I was a studio owner, an audio recording studio owner, and we were always having to do, graveyards all the time. So I'd have at least one 48-hour day a week. And I was drinking coffee ridiculously. And this is my mid-20s. And it was just the only way I could cope, especially on the second day, then you're up for 36 plus hours already. And inner stability tends to wane when you're really tired or hungry or angry for that matter. Anyway, I just substituted Cali and said I'm going to drink as much of this as I'm drinking of coffee, and I was drinking 20 to 40 cups a day. I didn't know what else to do, and I was very out of the loop in terms of what I should do nutritionally. Only other than athletics, but from doing that and just trying to eat it, good carbs, good everything else. But Cali kind of tied it all together. Even helps to solidify the digestive enzymes that you have within yourself to be able to handle whatever you put in your body. But the main thing is how I felt afterwards. I mean, on that 36th hour, and I'm dealing with a prima donna vocalist, and it's 3 a.m, and I'm calm and I'm pleasant to be around. I'm even pleasant in my own skin instead of going, God, I just want to go to sleep. But it's amazing. Ever since maintaining Cali in my life, I won't live without Cali. It's probably of all the foods, I love all the foods, but really to optimize. And the thing is, when you're dealing with an adaptogen, you're nourishing the body the way it's nature kind of designed. It's to complement nature. It's not to try to take over what what am I trying? Intervene in a body situation when it needs something. It's trying to nourish the body, and it's also giving the intelligence of our being credit, the nature's force credit, and to honor that rather than trying to intervene with blasting things out of the way. The body already has the universal intelligence within it, and that's what I love about what Dr. Chen has done, is created foods that do just that. Anyway, Cali is a regular part of my daily life, and I love how it complements with Fortune and Vitafruit, or whatever I'm gonna put, or even putting in formulas, including Top Joy and Ease and or Quinery in my Cali. I love having it together in any way, shape, or form. But Cali is just such a wonderful foundation, and again, it was designed by monks of the Yellow Emperor to practice focus during meditation and or martial arts. And so mental clarity and focus is the benefit of having Cali, and if that is an adaptogenic, a natural part of who we are, I think it's just one of the most perfect foods that we have in Sunrider.
Tim, that's awesome, man. I couldn't agree with you more. And hey, Judy, Cheryl, I love the way you guys talked about some of these adaptogenic foods that Sunrider offers. And I'm the same way as all of you guys. All of these are on my shelf, okay, for sure. The ones I use daily are the Cali. Tim, to your point, absolutely every single day. I actually mix it with the Fortune Delight, call it my Temple tea, and that's something we drink all day long. Quinary, obviously, I mean, Sunrider is all about balance, right? And Quinary balances the 5 systems. Bringing Top Joy and E, Judy, I think it was you that referenced the fact that those deal with the central nervous system, and again, that's kind of that other system that doesn't get talked about much when we focus on Quinary, but those products are all incredible. The new Intellerize, interestingly, has a couple of those things we shared just a few minutes with you go on the other page, and that was the Rhodolia rosea and the reishi mushroom are all part of Intellerize. And Judy, I think you had said, or Cheryl, one of you, about the Korean white ginseng and the siwujia. I don't use them every day either myself, but I certainly use them when I know I'm going to be in stressful situations or feel like I need to come back from them. And, it's I guess I kind of want to end with just a couple of things. First of all, one more comment about Top Joinees, and we'll be posting about this on the site, folks, but there is a lot of information. And I remember Dr. Rubinstein doing a whole segment on the importance of stacking those 3. And again, Cheryl, or one of you had talked about the fact of taking all 3 of them at the same time. Cheryl, it was you take 3 of each every morning, right? This is what you'd said. Yeah, exactly. That is the right way to do it. And we'll share more about that. But, folks, I just kind of like to end this conversation on adaptogens with a couple of things. I saw a post the other day that says, stress will kill you as fast as a bullet, so find your peace and live there. And then lastly, I want you to picture this, okay? And this is a martial arts thing, Tim, so you can visualize this too, but there's the master, okay, sitting on the ground beside the tree, and the student standing next to him, and the student says, "Master, what are you doing today?" And the master answers, "Well, nothing." And the student says, "But that's what you did yesterday." And the master says, "Yes, and I haven't finished yet." Okay, so again, folks, there's so many things we can do to help ourselves to adapt to situations that are going on, the stress in our lives. And, I just want to kind of end the call today by reminding you all again, if you haven't done so yet, please join us in our 2025 Spring Go Green Bundle Challenge. Again, we're focusing on 5 products here: Evergreen, Alpha 20C, Fruit and Vegetable Rinse, Spirulina, and Dandelion Root. The idea is to purchase and use at least 3 out of those 5 over this 30-day period, 14th of April through the 16th of May. Post a video of you unboxing your foods, post videos or photos of you using the products and the benefits that they're providing. Each time you post, you'll get 1 ticket in the drawing. If you post a video, you'll get 2 tickets. So the more you post, the more tickets you have in the pile. Okay. We'll be doing a drawing on May 23rd. And in addition to the health and wellness you will see from these wonderful products, you have a chance to win one of the following: a 10-pack of Candescent Biocellulose face masks, a 10-pack of Alpha 20C, of Quinary, or a 10-pack bottle of Evergreen. So again, folks, I hope you'll join us in this challenge and post with us along with us, I should say, on the 5 Element site, because we have a lot of fun doing that and sharing more detail than we've been able to get into in these calls with you on that site. So, Judy, Cheryl, Tim, any last comments for anybody before we move on today?
So green.
Yes,
Great.
absolutely. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And again, we'll be posting a couple other trainings during the season, as we promised you. We'll be dealing with things like spring cleaning and spring cleanse, and we're also going to do a segment on business basics too. So watch for those calls coming up. And again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Judy. Thanks, Tim.
Right.